The Netherlands, often called Holland, is a remarkable country whose very existence and identity are inseparable from its unique geography. Known worldwide for its iconic windmills, endless tulip fields, intricate canal systems, and flat landscapes, the geography of the Netherlands tells a fascinating story of human ingenuity, resilience, and adaptation in the face of nature's challenges. Situated in northwestern Europe, the Netherlands is bordered by Germany to the east, Belgium to the south, and the North Sea to the north and west. Its total area covers approximately 41,500 square kilometers, making it one of the smaller countries in Europe. Despite its modest size, the Netherlands is densely populated, with over 17 million people calling it home. At the heart of the Dutch landscape lies its defining characteristic, water. Nearly one-third of the country lies below sea level, and much of its land has been reclaimed from the sea, rivers, and lakes through an extensive system of dikes, canals, and pumping stations. This constant battle with water has shaped not only the physical landscape but also the culture, economy, and history of the Netherlands. The Low Countries, a flat and water-defined terrain. The term, Low Countries, aptly describes the Netherlands and its neighboring Belgium and Luxembourg, reflecting the notably low elevation of the land. The country is famously flat. Its highest point, Valserberg, reaches just 322 meters above sea level. Most of the terrain consists of polders, tracts of land reclaimed from bodies of water by building dikes and draining the area. These polders are carefully managed with canals and pumping stations to keep the land dry. The intricate network of waterways and dikes is a marvel of engineering, developed over centuries. Coastal and river influences. The Netherlands' coastline stretches over 450 kilometers along the North Sea, characterized by sandy beaches, dunes, and tidal flats. The Wadden Sea along the northern coast is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, notable for its rich biodiversity and dynamic tidal system. Several major European rivers run through or into the Netherlands, including the Rhine, Meuse, Maas, and Scheldt. These rivers are vital arteries for transport, agriculture, and trade. The Rhine River, in particular, is one of Europe's most important waterways, flowing from the Swiss Alps through Germany and into the Netherlands before emptying into the North Sea. The river delta formed by these waterways, known as the Rhine-Meuse-Scheldt Delta, is one of the largest and most complex in Europe. It's this delta region that hosts much of the country's population, industry, and agriculture. Land reclamation and the Dutch water management system. The story of the Netherlands is largely a story of land reclamation. Since the Middle Ages, the Dutch have transformed marshes, swamps, and shallow sea areas into fertile farmland. Central to this transformation are dikes, massive embankments constructed to keep seawater out. One of the most famous is the Afsluitdijk, a 32-kilometer-long dam completed in 1932 that closed off the Zuiderzee, a large inlet of the North Sea, turning it into a freshwater lake called the IJsselmeer. In addition to dikes, the Dutch use an extensive network of pumping stations, many historically wind-powered, to drain water from low-lying areas. Today, modern electric pumps regulate water levels, maintaining the delicate balance between land and sea. Soil and agriculture. The Dutch landscape is dominated by fertile soils, mainly composed of clay and peat, which support the country's highly productive agriculture. The reclaimed polders are particularly valuable for farming. The Netherlands is one of the world's leading agricultural exporters, despite its small size. The country specializes in dairy, vegetables, flowers, and greenhouse horticulture. The tulip fields of the Ballenstreek region are world famous, attracting millions of visitors every spring. Urban geography and population distribution. The Netherlands is one of the most densely populated countries in Europe. Most Dutch people live in urban areas concentrated in the Randstad, a megalopolis including Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, and Utrecht. This urban cluster is characterized by efficient public transport, compact city centers, and a high quality of life. Cities are often interwoven with green spaces, canals, and waterways, emphasizing a harmonious coexistence between urban development and natural features. Climate and environmental challenges. The Netherlands has a temperate maritime climate, influenced by the North Sea and prevailing westerly winds. Winters are mild, summers are cool, and rainfall is evenly distributed throughout the year. However, the country faces significant environmental challenges related to its geography. Rising sea levels due to climate change pose a threat to low-lying areas, increasing the risk of flooding. To combat these risks, the Netherlands has developed the Delta Works, a series of dams, sluices, locks, dikes, and storm surge barriers designed to protect the coastline and inland areas. The Delta Works are considered one of the greatest feats of civil engineering in the world. Nature and biodiversity. Despite its urban density and agricultural use, the Netherlands boasts diverse natural habitats. The coastal dunes and wetlands provide shelter for migratory birds and unique plant species. Protected areas such as the Veluwe, one of the largest forested regions in the country, offer refuge to deer, wild boar, and rare orchids. The Hoge Veluwe National Park is also home to the famous Kröller-Müller Museum, blending art and nature. The Netherlands, a country defined by geography. In conclusion, the geography of the Netherlands is a compelling narrative of balance between land and water, human ingenuity and natural forces, urban growth and environmental stewardship. From the reclaimed polders and winding canals to bustling ports and vibrant cities, the Dutch landscape is a living testament to adaptation and resilience. This geography continues to shape every aspect of life in the Netherlands, influencing its economy, culture, and identity. In the next scene, we will explore how this unique geography has influenced Dutch history, trade, and society, from the Golden Age to the modern era. The climate of the Netherlands, a maritime influence. The Netherlands experiences a temperate maritime climate, which means it has mild summers, cool winters, and relatively moderate precipitation throughout the year. This climate is heavily influenced by the nearby North Sea and the prevailing westerly winds that sweep across the Atlantic Ocean, bringing moist air and keeping temperatures moderate. In winter, average temperatures range from about 0 degrees Celsius to 6 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit to 43 degrees Fahrenheit, rarely plunging to extreme cold due to the moderating effects of the sea. Summers are generally mild, with average highs between 17 degrees Celsius and 22 degrees Celsius, 63 degrees Fahrenheit to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. This temperate climate contributes to the country's long growing season and supports its thriving agriculture. Rainfall is fairly evenly distributed throughout the year, with an annual average of about 800 millimeters, 31 inches. Although heavy snow is uncommon, occasional snowfalls do occur during the winter months. Seasonal changes and weather patterns. Spring in the Netherlands heralds the blooming of the famous tulip fields and the gradual warming of the landscape. This season sees increased daylight and moderate rainfall, providing ideal conditions for horticulture and farming. Summer, though mild, can occasionally bring warm spells reaching temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit, especially during heatwaves influenced by continental air masses from Eastern Europe. Autumn brings cooler temperatures and more frequent rainfall, often accompanied by windy conditions due to approaching Atlantic storms. Winters are generally mild but damp, with sporadic frost and occasional snow. Ecosystems of the Netherlands, from coastlines to forests. Despite its small size and dense human population, the Netherlands boasts a variety of natural ecosystems, each uniquely adapted to the local climate and geography. Coastal ecosystems and the Wadden Sea. Along the northern coast lies the Wadden Sea, an extraordinary intertidal zone stretching from the Netherlands through Germany to Denmark. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is characterized by tidal flats, salt marshes, and barrier islands. The Wadden Sea ecosystem is crucial for migratory birds, fish, and marine mammals. It serves as a resting and breeding ground for millions of birds traveling along the East Atlantic Flyway. Seal populations thrive here, and the tidal flats are rich in shellfish and other marine life. The dynamic nature of the Wadden Sea, with its constantly shifting sands and tidal movements, presents a delicate balance between land and water that is carefully managed to preserve its biodiversity. Inland wetlands and peat bogs. Historically, much of the Netherlands was covered by wetlands and peat bogs. Although many have been drained for agriculture, some remain protected as nature reserves. These wetlands provide vital habitats for amphibians, waterfowl, and unique plant species adapted to wet, acidic conditions. Peatlands also serve an important ecological function as carbon sinks, storing large amounts of carbon and helping mitigate climate change. Forests and heathlands. The Veluwe region in central Netherlands contains some of the country's largest forested areas, dominated by pine and deciduous trees. The Veluwe hosts diverse wildlife, including red deer, wild boar, foxes, and numerous bird species. Heathlands, characterized by low shrubs and sandy soils, are scattered across parts of the country. These areas require ongoing management, including controlled grazing and burning, to prevent succession to forest and maintain biodiversity. Rivers and freshwater ecosystems. The Netherlands' extensive river networks support a range of freshwater ecosystems, from slow-moving canals and lakes to fast-flowing rivers. Aquatic plants, fish species like pike and perch, and various amphibians inhabit these waterways. Efforts have been made to improve water quality, restore natural riverbanks, and reconnect rivers with their floodplains to enhance biodiversity. Natural resources, the backbone of the Dutch economy. The geography and climate of the Netherlands have endowed it with a variety of natural resources, many of which underpin its economy. Agricultural resources. Thanks to its fertile soils and temperate climate, agriculture remains a cornerstone of the Dutch economy. The country is among the world's largest exporters of agricultural products, including flowers, vegetables, dairy, and meat. Advanced technologies such as greenhouse farming, precision agriculture, and sustainable practices have allowed the Netherlands to maximize productivity on limited land. The horticulture sector is especially prominent, with vast greenhouses producing tomatoes, cucumbers, and ornamental plants year-round. Natural gas and energy resources. The discovery of large natural gas fields in the Groningen region during the 1950s transformed the Netherlands into a significant energy producer. Though production has declined due to earthquakes and environmental concerns, natural gas remains an important domestic resource. Hydroelectric power is limited due to the country's flatness and lack of large rivers with steep gradients. However, the Netherlands has invested heavily in wind energy, harnessing both onshore and offshore wind farms to generate sustainable electricity. This is a natural extension of its historic reliance on windmills, now modernized for the 21st century. Solar energy is also growing rapidly, with many Dutch homes and businesses installing photovoltaic panels. Fisheries and marine resources. With an extensive coastline and access to the North Sea, the Netherlands has a rich tradition of fishing and marine resource management. Commercial fisheries harvest herring, mackerel, cod, and shellfish. The country also manages aquaculture farms producing mussels, oysters, and other seafood. Marine conservation and sustainable fishing practices are increasingly emphasized to protect fish stocks and marine biodiversity. Environmental challenges and sustainability efforts. Despite its success in managing water and land, the Netherlands faces ongoing environmental challenges related to climate change, pollution, and habitat loss. Rising sea levels and flood risks. As a low-lying country, the Netherlands is highly vulnerable to sea level rise caused by global warming. Increased storm intensity and higher tides exacerbate the risks of flooding, threatening lives, infrastructure, and agriculture. In response, the Dutch government continues to innovate with adaptive infrastructure projects such as the Delta Works and the Room for the River program, which allows rivers to flood safely in designated areas to reduce pressure on dikes. Pollution and urban impact. Industrial activities and dense urban populations contribute to air and water pollution. Efforts to improve water quality in rivers and lakes have shown progress through stringent environmental regulations and wastewater treatment. Urban green spaces and sustainable transport initiatives aim to reduce air pollution and improve residents' quality of life. Conservation and biodiversity protection. The Netherlands actively protects many natural areas through national parks, reserves, and Natura 2000 sites, part of a Europe-wide network aimed at preserving habitats and species. Programs to restore peatlands, wetlands, and river ecosystems help improve biodiversity and carbon sequestration.